On the subject of crazy days and nights, specifically Enty Lawyer, who is now known as John Nelson, Lila Shapiro continues in her New York Magazine article, "The Man Who Gossiped Too Much." She elaborates how in 2011, Nelson began to look into ways to profit from the site. Money was tight and LA wasn't cheap. He ran Google ads and began writing every day from his desk at the firm and at home on the weekend, posting as many as 10 items a day, sometimes more. The following spring, he published one of the most viewed entries in the blog's history, a blind about a former B-list television actress who he alleged had been physically abused by her father and her boyfriends. The post went viral after a frequent commenter who went by him claimed without proof that the actress was Hayden Panettiere, the former child star who had recently been cast in Nashville. The commenter also claimed outrageously that her abuse was part of a much larger story and suggested readers take a look into Diana Jenkins, a Bosnian-born socialite, entrepreneur, and ex-wife of executive at Barclays. She's a Rosetta Stone of every scandal and perversion from Hollywood all over the globe. She's been running a high-class call girl, party-goer ring all over Wall Street, DC, royals, and Hollywood elites. Panettiere, they added, was her little pet. The post got 100 million page views. By the fall of 2012, Nelson had quit his day job and was supplementing his income with legal work on the side. On the heels of that success, Nelson wrote more about the rumors of the sexual transgressions. He told me he had always been a champion of women and was primarily motivated by injustice. Years before, places like The New Yorker and The New York Times published accounts on the abuses of Harvey Weinstein, Matt Lauer, and Kevin Spacey. Nelson took thinly veiled swipes at them in his blind items. In 2006, for instance, he wrote about a producer mogul who threatened to destroy an actress' career after she refused his advances. When the Weinstein stories blew up, Enty reposted the blind with Weinstein and Ronan's name attached. Ronan has never been connected with Weinstein. In a profile of Enty for the Daily Beast, the former Schmecks and dating columnist Mandy Stadler called him a whistleblower. "It's not about dirty laundry," she wrote. "It's about justice." It became something of a trope in that moment of reckoning to recast gossip writers as unlikely heroes of public service journalism. The Ringer went so far as to contend that they had become industry watched. This argument, though, eluded the thread of old-fashioned misogyny that ran through many of his posts. John Nelson's. He sometimes implied the women who slept with studio bosses were asking for it. And as critics of the site pointed out, Enty was fixated on yacht girls, a common euphemism for actresses who engage in informal, high-end, and wrote extensively about hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of such women. He absurdly claimed populated Hollywood. One of the most frequent targets was Meghan Markle. Me Too was a breakout moment for the blog.